So this semester definitely taught me a lot um, about the entrepreneurial journey. Biggest takeaway was for sure, just the importance of improving each and every week. And so my journey just started with, what am I going to choose as my business? I had clean shoes in the past. I was kind of successful during it. It definitely helped me kind of know the basis of marketing through previous classes, but it wasn't something I enjoyed. It was like a decent idea, and I didn't mind cleaning it, but it wasn't something I wanted to commit my semester to. So that's when I began thinking about, maybe I should coach. And for coaching, my initial thought again was like coach throughout the summer soccer. So I was like, oh, maybe I can do Zoom one-on-one like skill sessions with clients and students I had throughout the summer. I had already built a relationship with them, and I figured why not continue it in the fall. But my issue was, they're going back to their club teams, their town teams, and so they're already getting training. They don't really need the one-on-one training. It's good in the summer, so you can stay in shape. But outside of the summer, you don't really need that because you're already playing and you're in your main season for a sport. So, that's when I was kind of thinking, entrepreneurship, it's always an uphill battle. You're always gonna have boundaries, and you just gotta figure out how to maneuver around them. And so that's when I started thinking about golf. And so, my golf clinics or my sessions rather, the idea was all of my friends are getting to the age where whether playing varsity sports, intramural sports, your like playing career is like fully dwindling down to a halt, and so you need a sport to take it for the rest of your life. So everyone's trying to get into golf. Depending on what business you might business you go into in the future, you could be playing a lot of golf with clients and whatnot. And so everyone was, all my friends were getting very into it. They were going to do a Friday golf league, and I figured, you know what, I'm the best out of my friend group by a lot. Why not get money and profit off of helping them out? And so knowing we're going to have Friday sessions every single week, knowing the stakes are up because it was competitive, loser team, there was not like bets, but there's pride. You want to win, and so each and every week, people in the class were coming up to me just as like the first couple of weeks, and they're like, "I need to be good enough to not get embarrassed because you have 12 guys on that first tee with you. You don't feel like shanking into the woods." And so, just the very first week of the semester, I had like the lowest round by, I don't know, like 5 or 6 shots at least. I'm a 6 handicap, and for the majority of players, they're newbies. They're the weekend hacker, and so that's what I targeted my product around, my golf services. So segueing from that, I struggled like the first couple of weeks because we did our like strategy canvas, and I'm comparing myself to the competition, and so I came up with the idea. You know what? Even though like a lower end coach is charging they charging 30 to $40 for an hour or like half an hour, and the top coach is charging $100 an hour. I'm gonna be wicked cheap. I'm gonna do 5 to 10. And so yeah, all my buddies loved it because they're only paying $5 to $10, but it's not worth it for me to spend that much time and like doing research for you, and I'm not making any money. And so I'm presenting in class, and it's just like, you're showing us your competitors. Why would you set the bar so low for yourself? And so then I ended up upping my price to $20 for a session. Uh, and also initially, when it was $5, I was doing like 2 or 3 kids in a session, but I couldn't show the best of my abilities in a group environment, and so I really started focusing on the one-on-one training sessions. And then I upped it to 20, and then you have that awkward interaction with people because it was like, oh, you just charged me, you're gonna like double the cost, and it's just like, I go, you know what, it's not worth it for me to coach you at such a low price, and I'm gonna maximize like my time and you, and not, for lack of a better word, half-ass it. If like you're paying more, and like once people start off of these right away, it's like awkward But once they see results, it's like, okay, I understand why you're charging more, and it's worth the product because they kept coming back because they kept improving each and every week. Their scores were getting better. Their team was doing better, and so I became like everyone in the league was like, you looked like you were terrible last week. Why are you looking good today? And it's like, oh, I had a lot of training sessions with Patrick, so it was like I became a demand. And then so like each and every week, obviously, I'm getting practice coaching, knowing the terminology. I'm doing work, and then each and every week in class, you're kind of like one up in it to become like a true entrepreneur. And then some of that was marketing, and that's when I started the Instagram page. And I think that's when things from my business really started progressing because it was you just moved outside from those 12 guys, coming every Friday in the league to now you got people that like friends of friends following the page, liking your content and seeing like, oh, like this is a legitimate business. And then other kids at Clark also started seeing it. And then for the key thing for marketing is, you learn the 6 ways of marketing, whether it's like reciprocity, scarcity, consensus, commonality. You learn all these, like how to market. And so like using all these posts and applying it to Instagram, you get a versatile Instagram page, and that's when people started really liking my content, started trusting me, and I kept it lighthearted. That was the biggest thing I like to do because my biggest differentiator from my competitors, other than cost, is you're gonna be comfortable with me. I take away the awkward interaction. You know me, I'm a friendly face. You're not gonna be like, oh, like having to get to know somebody. I made it comfortable for people that didn't know me. You see the Instagram page, and you're like, you do feel like you learn the person through Instagram. So like you can talk about, oh, like they come up like, oh, I saw your post, that was pretty funny, and it just takes away that initial first awkward interaction, and we got straight to business. And the really other driver of my company was not only like my sense of humor. Everyone likes that. You got to keep it lighthearted because golf can be a super stressful game, and oftentimes it's overcomplicated. So you got to learn, one-liners that will set a client at ease. And for me, like a lot of times I talk about the swing. It's like fine-tuning a radio. You can be very close, but you got to hit it right on the dot for it to play music. So one-liners like that, you put your client at ease. And then the other big separation for me was taking my product from I'm gonna do something new for every swing, and because it's all newbies, I'm like they don't have any bad habits engraved. Why not just teach the game the way I learned it the past couple of years? Because I was just in their shoes, and so how I did this was the three biggest things or the two biggest things are you got to transfer your weight. So every single client that comes in, the first thing I do, I'll watch them in a couple shots, and I'm like, you got to transfer your weight because that's how you generate power and generate speed. The other thing I do is once you transfer your weight, you rotate, if you're a righty, your left forearm down, and that's how you slot the club, and you're going to hit consistent contact every single time. It's nothing overly complicated. There's 100,000 words for every single swing flaw, right? And everyone has their own unique swing. But if I could just take that base into what I liked, I could make you a player that had consistent ball flight and consistent ball trajectory, and you could have just a consistent game, and you're not going to be like shanking at one hole, snap hooking at the next. You're going to hit it fairly consistent because the club faces always come in square, and so that's what I focused on. This worked really well for my newbie clients, but then like my biggest challenge was he wasn't new. He had been playing the game for like a few years, and he just had these terrible ingrained bad habits, and I was like, this is when my semester got really exciting. It's like, all right, this is the biggest challenge. I've like made a product where like every swing is gonna be very similar. How do I change him to a new swing when he's doing all the wrong habits? It's the opposite of what I'm saying. And so that's when I let me get water real quick. That's when I realized, what? I could do more research, and that's buying books, hopping on YouTube, posting on Instagram, different swing flaws for different clients. So that's how you attract everybody. And definitely targeted him. And if there was like certain client I wanted that week, I would target them on Instagram. And then through text, it was just I'm gonna send you a video of what you're doing wrong I'm gonna encourage you saying like, hey, I saw improvement this past week. Like you definitely like you got more swing speed and it's getting a little better. So you gotta encourage them so they keep coming back. But that one-on-one contact is the best thing I could do. And this class just, enforced in me. You gotta constantly be poking your clients so they keep coming back. And you also gotta provide, a product that gets better and better each week. And so the biggest thing I could take away was every single week it's like a competition against yourself from the previous week. How can I be better? How can I improve? In the class does give a layout because you get in new strategy canvas, so you see the competition and just like writing down the differences between yourself and the competition. You're like, okay, I gotta bring my A game. And then when you the 6 ways of marketing, it's like you have these 6 like perfectly laid out plans, and now all you got to do is be creative and write a good caption and have a good post, and you're fulfilling them, and the people love the content. So if you put in the work and you're like keep, you have to read, you have to know your following base, but staying with it and staying with the class like really allowed my business to grow and become successful. And I had fun with it. It definitely opened a lot of my eyes, just because whether I do this again in the spring or not, in any business or any venture you try, it's always the constant need for improvement, and that helps you become a great like business person, a great salesman. And so I thoroughly enjoyed the class, and I would recommend this to anybody just because it's like valuable lessons you actually need in life. Where some of the classes, you're not going to use, I don't know, like calculus, like unless you're in like that line of work. Like, I'm not going to use that kind of math for the rest of my life. But this is, people skills, presentation skills, and it enforces a work ethic of improvement. And I couldn't be happier with taking entrepreneurship classes. So thank you.